Hi, welcome to the Truth to Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal. This is Isaac, and we are episode number 7. We are now available to watch or listen on 4 different ways: Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube, which is pretty cool because Isaac does all that, and I don't even really know what Google Podcast is. I want to mention that merch is available. We've still got a couple of crew necks left, but in the next week or so, we've got a bunch of cool stuff coming in. We do have a fair amount of requests, so just message Isaac on our Instagram page, and he can hook you up. Off the top, Dolphins.
Just missed playoffs. I like Miami a lot. I think they're fun to watch. I like Tua. I'm rooting for him. Brian Flores, we'll talk about Coach of the Year maybe in another episode. Although they didn't make the playoffs, he's a good candidate. And the Dolphins are picking 3rd overall. So Devontae Smith, there's a chance it happens, but Dolphins just missed, unfortunately.
Yep. Michigan basketball that I wanted to talk about, but Isaac wants to talk about
I want
more.
Michigan hoops. So I've watched a good bit of them. Their schedule really up to this point has been pretty fluffy. They haven't had a lot of big teams.
No, they've had 3 top 20 teams.
But just recently they played Northwestern and Minnesota. Smoked both of them. Looked really good. They're 10 as of right now. There's a good chance they go up. Next game was supposed to be Penn State. That I think is postponed because COVID. And then after that, it's Wisconsin, who's the top 10 team in the country. They're sick. So that'll be a big game to kind of test them. But Hunter Dickinson has been great. Couple of vets. Eli Brooks, Smith. They've got a bunch of guys.
The transfer that they got from Columbia.
Smith, the point guard.
He's awesome.
And Wagner looks great too. Yeah. So they're a lot of fun to watch.
Next year
they got a bunch of guys coming in. 5-star, a bunch
number
of
1 recruiting
stars.
class in the nation, I think.
Different recruiting class than the one that John Beeline used to bring in. A little different. Not a bunch of guys from Europe anymore. Yeah. Howard's kind of, modernizing it. Not a lot of.
Oh, Howard's got a lot of street cred. He's great.
Yeah.
Sparty was laughing when they signed Juwan Howard, and they're not laughing anymore.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Tigers just a little bit. Realistically, they are not going to be good. They're not going to be good this year. We're probably looking at a bottom 3 team, but they're going to play the kids. They'll be entertaining. Listen, I don't like teams that suck, but at least when they're playing young guys, it gives them hope for the future. Like that 12-6 curveball with Casey Mize. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we get to see Spencer Torkelson this year because he can rake. Hopefully we get to go see Tiger games at some point. Right now the border's still closed, but love the $5 and $10 off the street Tiger tickets that Isaac and I seem to come up with. Let's mention Derrick Henry. King Henry, what do you got?
2K. He's sick, man. Great season. If Mahomes and Rodgers weren't so awesome, probably would have been MVP as a running back.
Yep, he's awesome.
It's just those other 2 guys had better seasons. But he's been great, and can he carry the Titans to a playoff win against Baltimore?
I mean, here's the problem in the NFL. Great running backs don't really equate to victories.
Especially when your quarterback's Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. Last thing we wanted to mention off the top is the Canadian Juniors obviously lost to the United States a couple of days ago. Big deal. Canada loves its hockey. Canada loves its junior hockey. So the bad news is we lost the United States. Close game. They represented well. United States deserved to win. But the good news is we still live in Canada. So I've talked to a bunch of my American friends, and living in Canada is kind of like living upstairs from a meth house. We're safe, and we just get to look down and look at all of the craziness. So just so you know, Canada is currently accepting applications for anybody that would like, from Americans, that would like to move to Canada.
Not all of them, though.
No, not all of them. There's a handful of people, like the weird beard guy and the jerk that had the Camp Auschwitz shirt. Those people are not allowed. We just need some good folks. Our agenda for tonight. We are going to do an NFL playoff preview by the time that we post this, which would hopefully be the 8th of January, the day before the playoff start. It's a great lineup of playoff games, even the first round, just because this year's different. Schedule's a little different, so there's only one team that has a bye. Great playoff format.
Yeah, one in each conference, yeah.
Yep, sorry. We're going to do top 10 NBA scores of all time. Obviously, that is different than top 10 NBA players. We're just going to compare our lists. We made them independently of each other. And the third segment is going to be, we're going to pick the movie characters from our last episode when we picked our favorite sports movies of all time. Obviously, Rocky's not allowed because Dolph Lundgren, he'd be a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Him as your power forward, beast. So that'll be a fun little snake draft that we're going to do, and we'll post the teams online so all of Isaac's buddies can vote for me.
My team's going to be so much better. Like, we haven't even started. The truth is my team will be so much better. So much better.
Alrighty. Playoff preview?
Yeah, let's start. So we'll go AFC first, cover
Sure.
the entire AFC, switch over to the NFC, and then look at the NFC, and then obviously Super Bowl. So Chiefs get the bye in the AFC, no surprise there. First game that we have, 4-5, Baltimore versus Tennessee. Great game, maybe the best game of the weekend. Played last year, Tennessee won. It was Lamar Jackson. The Ravens had the bye last year, and Jackson's 0-2 in the playoffs. He's not going to lose this time. I've got Baltimore. He's not going to go 0-3. He's too good to lose his first 3 playoff games with this good of a team with Baltimore. I think Henry's great, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to beat Baltimore.
The truth is, Isaac's right. I don't think Baltimore's going to lose 3 games in a row to Tennessee. They lost in overtime during the regular season.
Yeah.
It's Baltimore's time.
I agree.
Go with the Ravens.
Yeah, I got Baltimore here. The spread's tight. Like, I think... Is Tennessee favored now? Do you know? Like,
I don't know.
They're really, really tight, even though Baltimore is ranked ahead of them. A lot of people have Tennessee. Baltimore's super hot right now. They won a bunch of games. But the Titans are coming off Derrick Henry rushing for 2,000 yards. So both teams have some momentum. So that'll be fun. We each have Baltimore, though. Move on down. The 3 Steelers versus the 6 Browns.
So this is so funny, right? Because Cleveland has not been in the playoffs for, I don't know, Isaac's lifetime.
0-2, right?
And even when Cleveland makes the playoffs, they still have a coaching change because they can't have their coach on the sidelines.
Before all the COVID stuff, a lot of people were actually picking the Browns as an upset just because people hate the Steelers. And a lot of people want the Browns to win. But Stefanski's out. A bunch of other guys are out. So I have Pittsburgh here, although I don't love Pitt. Like, I don't think Pittsburgh's going to beat, one of the better teams in the AFC, which we'll talk about in a bit. I have Pittsburgh beating Cleveland, especially down their head coach.
Yep, really close game. Steelers win on last drive.
No.
Not a very nice game. I think it's going to be a little bit ugly. Steelers win, so we agree on that.
I don't think it'll be that tight, though.
Okay.
But it's Cleveland. Watch them go win 40-0.
Yeah.
Last wildcard game in the AFC, the 2nd-seeded Bills versus the 7th-seeded Colts. Now, this was a spot that Miami almost got, but the Colts edged out and got it. I have Buffalo killing the Colts. The Colts.
Same. Buffalo's awesome.
No matter who it was, Miami, whoever, Arizona. Arizona's wrong conference. But any of those borderline teams that would have squeaked in, Buffalo, I think, would have smacked.
Yep, I agree. We don't need to debate that any longer. So Baltimore, KC, who do you have?
I've got KC. I think this will be a fun game. I think this is going to, both teams just play the game really, really interesting, especially offenses. Both have really unique offenses with dynamic playmakers at quarterback, but I have KC winning.
Okay, same. I got KC. Too much talent.
It's KC, yeah.
Yep.
I don't, if the Titans beat the Ravens, I actually think the Titans might be able to give the Chiefs a harder time just because...
They won't have the ball.
I don't know. Defense is there's a good chance KC and Baltimore is a pretty high scoring game. Not a bunch of defense in that game.
Yep. Steelers, Bills, what do you got?
I've got Buffalo here, probably by a fair margin. I don't think the Steelers are good enough to beat Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. He's been great.
Yep. I agree with you. I think the Bills win, but I think it's close. Steelers are not great, but they're not easy to blow away. They've got a fair amount of talent. They got some decent talent on both sides of the football. So I think the Buffaloes win, but I think it's a squeaker.
I agree. The Buffaloes will win.
The Buffalo Bills.
Conference championship. KC Buffalo. This will be an awesome game. I think. I've got KC, but don't count out Buffalo. I really think that Buffalo has a shot to upset them.
Okay, you know what? I was leaning towards KC. I'm picking the Bills, right? Just because they're fun. Yeah, KC has won. They have the best talent in the NFL by far, but I can't ride them forever.
Tampa?
No.
It's close. It's really close.
Yeah, Patty Mahomes is much superior than Tom Brady at this time in his career.
Tom's pretty good.
Well, he's the GOAT, but he's also 43.
He's awesome.
So I'm picking the Bills.
Okay. If Buffalo wins and he gets lucky, I'm going to be mad. But I've got KC here. So KC in the Super Bowl. NFC. We'll go wild card again. 4th-seeded Washington football team versus the 5th-seeded Tom Brady Buccaneers. Chase Young talking all that crap. I don't like that. We didn't really talk about
Listen,
that.
Chase Young, you are a beast, but shut your mouth.
Like,
you do not want to piss off Tom Brady and his entire team.
Like, that's the worst dude in the NFL to make mad, I think.
Yep.
Good for him, but and good for Alex Smith. How he
we haven't really talked about Alex Smith. Like, the dude was almost going to die, and now he has literally brought his team to the playoffs. Now, realistically, Washington's front four brought them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think the game will be close.
I think it'll be ugly too.
Tampa Bay is going to have to run a lot of quick strikes because
Washington's not going to have a lot of time.
Washington's front four is the best in the NFL. So close game, but Tampa wins.
Yep.
Hawks and the Rams. What do you got?
I've got Seattle. They just played. Well, they played twice this year because same division. Rams on the first, Hawks on the second.
Thumb, right? Like Goff's thumb is still dinged up. Or
Goff.
Or the accountant dude. What's his name?
Oh,
Wolford or Wolford.
Yeah, something like that. I think Goff,
dude is literally an accountant.
Goff's going to play.
Yeah.
It's not I think he's still questionable, and I don't even know if he's practiced. But there's no way that he doesn't play. It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I've got Goff playing, but Seattle winning. But this is a rivalry game. Like, this could be ugly too, but it'll be entertaining again. Two entertaining offenses.
Cooper Kupp was COVID a while ago. Is he playing, or do we know?
I think so. I haven't heard.
Hawks are tough to beat.
Yeah.
Bears and New Orleans. Do we even need to talk about? Bears suck.
The only
their defense is pretty good.
The storyline here is the Saints running back situation.
Oh,
So
yeah.
all four of them, I think, 3 of them got wiped out with COVID.
No, 3 running backs and the fullback.
And the fullback, yeah. And they all got wiped out with COVID because they don't know how to wear masks. So they aren't practicing this week at all with the team. I think they're all locked down in their houses, and they get out Sunday morning to go to the stadium and play football.
If New Orleans had played on Saturday, they would have had running backs. They would have had Taysom Hill and Montgomery running the ball.
Yeah.
So New Orleans, it's not even. Actually, I wrote down it will be close only because New Orleans hasn't scored a ton. Although I did hear that Michael Thomas is coming back, which obviously is a boost for the Saints.
How did Michael Thomas work out for your fantasy team?
Awful. I mean, nobody wants to hear about my fantasy team, but Michael Thomas, I think it was about the 147th ranked wide receiver this year, but he'll be good for the playoffs. So we've got Green Bay, Tampa. What do you got?
Earlier, I picked Tampa. I don't think Tampa can beat Green Bay. It sucks. Tampa's defense is good, but I don't think they'll be able to stop Rodgers and Adams and Jones and Tonyan and Lazard and all those guys on Green Bay. Okay. So I've got Green Bay winning, but assuming we get this game, it'll be good to see Brady and Rodgers go at it, probably for the last time ever.
Yeah, I'd say that's likely. I've got Green Bay as well. Tampa Bay, again, is going to be beat up just because the game against Washington is going to be a physical game.
Yeah.
So I've got Green Bay in a rout. Hawks, New Orleans, and listen, we made our picks independently. There just happen to be a lot of similarities.
Because that's the truth.
That's the truth.
We're both right thus far, for the most part. Saints Hawks, this is I have the Saints because if the Saints play their best or close to their best, I think they're just as good as the Packers and the Chiefs. I think the Saints at their absolute best with Kamara running the ball like crazy and Breeze throwing it more than 8 yards downfield, the Saints can be lethal, and their defense is great. So I've got the Saints winning, but you can say the same for Seattle. If they figure it out on offense and Russell Wilson goes back to first 4 weeks Russell Wilson, then they can't stop him.
Listen, karma owes the Saints a couple of things.
Yeah.
I think the game is going to be close, but I think Breeze brings them down the field to win in the fourth quarter against the Hawks.
You like last-second drives.
I like last-second drives. What's the playoffs all about?
So I've got Saints.
Okay, I've got Saints as well.
Yep.
Pack and Saints.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody likes Aaron Rodgers. I've got the Saints here.
Why don't you like your friend Jackson?
Sorry, Jackson. Actually, the
Jackson.
Kobe jersey is his. Look, I don't think Green Bay's a Super Bowl team. I don't. watch them win Super Bowl now. No, but seriously, I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. Again, if the Saints can play at their best, right? If Kamara comes back and is healthy, and if they get Latavius Murray's one of the best backup running backs in the league, if they can get both of them back to full form, and I need one more good month from Drew Brees. Like, I know he's older and he hasn't been great this year. If he gives me one more month, they'll beat Green Bay. But I've got the Saints beating Green Bay to advance the Super Bowl here.
Listen, if this is a neutral field, the Saints win. Like, I think the Saints have a ton of talent.
Yeah.
They're going to play Green Bay, like, the third week of January. It's going to be crappy. Poor Drew Brees is going to be, like, freezing cold. And I like Brees. He's awesome, but I got to go with the Pack.
Okay.
Lambeau in January, that's the Pack.
So, Super Bowl, I have KC, New Orleans. You have...
Bills and Pack.
So, like, honestly, like, both will be... Let's say mine happens and his doesn't. Mine will be entertaining. Let's say vice versa. Like, either of these, like, I like the teams that have a shot here. I think it'll be entertaining, the playoffs. I think I have a good chance.
And I think KC, Buffalo, Green Bay, and the Saints are four very talented teams, and I'd be surprised if they don't make... If of those four teams, that's not our Super Bowl matchups. Mm-hmm. I'm going with Green Bay. I just think this is Rodgers' year. Listen, I'm not a big fan, but they've been pretty unstoppable. They got tons of weapons. They're going to have a relatively easy ride getting there, whereas Buffalo is going to have a tougher...
KC will. Or, sorry, Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah,
because you're wrong.
But either way, whoever gets there from the AFC is probably going to have a tougher ride. I mean, injuries and COVID, who knows? But I'm going with the Pack, win the Super Bowl, and of course, Rodgers is the MVP.
Well, Rodgers can throw for like 150 yards, and Aaron Jones will run for 400.
It's true.
I think it'll be Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers was 11 for 26, but he did have 2 1-yard touchdown passes
to Adams. Yeah, that's his favorite play.
And those are his stats.
So I got Chiefs over Saints. I had to pick the Chiefs. Like, I think they're really good. Again, I think there's a couple holes, but I think they're good enough to win the Super Bowl.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Listen, playoffs. Listen, nobody can do anything else, so there's lots of football to watch.
Lots of football, yeah. Let's do scores now.
Okay.
So top 10 scores. We made lists completely on our own. I don't know his. He doesn't know mine. So we'll do honorable mentions to start. Name a few years, and I'll go mine, and then we'll go 10-1.
Sure. Dirk, the Mailman and the Iceman, Pistol Pete Maravich, and Allen Iverson, I've got for honorable mention.
So I've got a few more honorable mentions, but similar. Dr. J.
Yeah.
You left him out. I've got Iverson. Larry Bird, I've gotten as an honorable mention. Jerry West was close, didn't crack it. Hakeem the Dream, the Iceman, and Dirk were guys that were borderline. 10 is really interchangeable, I think. So I'll go with my 10. I've got Karl Malone here. I don't think you can have someone who got as many buckets as Karl Malone got and not have him as a top 10 scorer.
So I'm relatively certain you don't have LeBron on your list because you hate him, but actually I have LeBron as number 10. Good all-around scorer, gets to the bucket, and like he's going to wind up being the number 1 or the number 2 scorer of all time. It's pretty hard not to include him. Yeah. He's a great all-around player. I have him as the number 2 all-around player. Scorer, I've got him as number 10.
So let's just let it be known. We're picking off of, you need a bucket. Who's your guy? So like 10-1, I need one basket. Who's going to give me that basket?
Yep.
So 9, you just mentioned it. I got LeBron at 9.
Okay.
He didn't think I was going to have him on the list. I had to, like, as much as I dislike LeBron, I admit and understand that he's one of the best players of all time and one of the best scorers of all time, even though that's not what he's known for. Great scorer. I've got him at 9. The only issue is why he's not higher, because there's going to be people like Evan. You're probably going nuts right now that he's not 1. Look, like, if I need a bucket, everyone from 8 down, I know exactly what they're going to give me. I don't know what LeBron, right? If his post fade isn't falling, what's he going to do? Just, like, other than draw a charge.
Dish it to Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah, I might have to kick it to a shooter in the corner. Look, I just, like, yeah, he's great in transition, but a lot of his buckets aren't ISO. If he's not feeling it, LeBron is not a huge offensive threat.
I mean, he's smart enough to know when he's not feeling it, so he dishes. Now he's got AD to dish it to and lots of other dudes. So, number 9, I've got Shaq, Beast. So just judging by your reaction, you probably don't have Shaq on your list. But Shaq was a beast, and a lot of people don't remember when he was younger. He could move. Like he would get a rebound and he'd dribble up the court.
Watch him in college. It's so fun.
Oh my God, he was fun to watch in college.
I remember watching back in college. Yeah.
Who do you got as 8?
Steph Curry, best shooter of all time.
Yep.
I have him at 8 just because, 4 feet.
Because he was triple teamed
4 feet within half court,
and he still scored like 62 points.
We didn't talk about that game of his life maybe for Steph earlier this week,
awesome.
and Bradley Beal. By the way, I didn't have him as a top 10 scorer ever, but Beal, great score. I've got Steph at 8, a threat anywhere in the half court offense, like can do anything outside the 3-point line.
Change the game.
Probably the most revolutionary player of all time, I think.
In
20 years, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Because everyone's going to be jacking threes.
Yeah, I've got Harden as number 8.
Okay.
Listen, everybody hates him, but he is an unbelievable scorer. Now, a lot of his buckets he gets are like he takes 4 steps and does a step back, but it still counts, still goes in. Plus, he gets tons of free throw attempts. I've got Harden as 8.
I've got Harden at 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Again, I'm not a huge Harden guy. If he does get traded to Miami, I will be. But I have Harden at 7 because he can do so many things with the basketball. Like, he's such a threat. He's got so many moves that he can go to. The step back's his best move, but he's a great finisher. He's a great dunk. Finisher. Like, he's so good. And he is partying until 3 a.m., and then he's going dropping 40.
Yeah.
So
he's like an 80s player. Doing cocaine and partying and then step on the court and drop 40.
I want him to get out of Houston. I want to see him, wherever it is, I want to see him on a team where he's not completely miserable.
I want him to go to Sacramento and
just suck.
And suck. I don't like him. He's not good for the game.
And the reason why I don't have him higher, great scorer, his scoring has not amounted to anything.
Yep, up until this point. He has not had any playoff success, right? A big score, like all these people that were listing, they have success in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you have Harden as 7.
Mm-hmm.
I have Steph Curry as 7.
Wow.
Again,
okay. So we
very simple. Lots of overlap. Isaac already mentioned how awesome Curry is,
and we like Steph a lot.
Yeah.
We like Steph a lot.
6.
I've got Shaq here.
Okay.
I've got Shaq a little higher than you, and he's doesn't have as many moves as Harden or Steph does, but maybe the best post player of all time, maybe the second best to someone we'll talk about later. But Shaq, like, so unstoppable, so dominant in the paint. So I have him at 6 pretty easily.
I've got Jerry West at 6. I think you had Jerry West listed in your honorable mentions.
Yeah, I don't have him.
Part of it is maybe the best pull-up jumper of all time, and he played when there was no three-pointer.
Dude.
So West was awesome.
Watch some of his highlights.
Okay, who's KD's probably pretty good.
The guy that played in Chicago.
Michael Jordan's probably pretty good. But Michael Jordan did more of his in like isolation, so it was more ISO.
Sure.
But anyway, I've got West as 6. He was great.
Okay. I don't have West honorable mention, but I'm fine with it.
Okay.
5. This is tough. I wanted him higher, but the 4 dudes above him I think are just elite scorers. So I have 5, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The most unstoppable move in basketball history. The sky hook, so awesome for so many years. Was not that it matters, just was a part of probably the best dynasty in basketball history, other than, like, if we exclude Bill Russell Celtics.
Yeah.
Probably the Showtime Lakers. So I've got him at 5, but the top 5 are all basically interchangeable.
I've got Kareem higher, and I'll add a couple points into him when I talk about him. I've got Kobe as number 5. Could have arguably been higher. His percentages for closing are actually not great. Like, he made a lot of big shots. He missed a lot of big shots as well. But listen, he's still one of the top 5 scorers of all time.
Okay. My 4, Wilt the Stilt. I've got Wilt Chamberlain at 4. Statistically speaking, he is the best scorer of all time. But he
scored 100 points a game, averaged 50.4.
15, 25.
50. It's crazy. Now it's a big deal if anybody gets 50.
I think Wilt, like, there's morons that say if Wilt played today, he wouldn't be that good. Or if you put JaVale McGee in that era, he'd do what Wilt did. Like, that's just stupid. I think if you put Wilt in today's game, he's still going to be dominant. But he was playing against me and you. So it's tough to say, like, he didn't have Hakeem in the paint with him. You know what I mean? So a lot of the time, it was against us, but regardless.
It's very hard to compare players from different eras, right? They had no 3 seconds in the key. They changed the rule because of Wilt. My buddy Mike Oldie, when we would play 2-on-2, he'd get the ball down low, and his best trash talk move was, did you want me to go ahead and score, or did you want me to put the ball down like Wilt did and run back down and play defense? So Wilt's good. You've got Wilt at 4?
Yeah.
I've got KD at 4.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know where you have KD, but he's amazing, right? Like, I don't think he gets enough credit for the type of player and scorer that he is. He just had his ACL blown up and he come back and he's still unbelievable. He's off for a week or 2 now, but KD's...
COVID, though, not because real injury, not because ACL or something.
Yeah. I've got KD as 4. Who do you have as 3?
Kobe. I've got Kobe at 3, a little higher than you. Looked like he could do everything that Michael could do, just not as good. And I think a lot of people will agree with that. Very similar to Michael. Had everything Michael had, and then some. If you want to talk about 3-pointer, but that's again era thing. Looked like he was so great at doing so many things. Very similar to Mike, just not as dominant as Mike was, offensively speaking. So I have Kobe at 3.
Sure, I see that. I've got Kareem as 3. So when he was in high school at Powell Memorial in New York, he was a beast. So then when he played college basketball, freshman players were not allowed to play.
Yeah.
So this is a good story about how dominant he was, but also his freshman class. So the UCLA sophomore, junior, and seniors, they had won the championship the year before, right? NCAA championship the year before. They scrimmaged against the freshman team, obviously led by Kareem. He was Lou Alcindor at that point. The freshmen beat the NCAA champions, right? And they didn't let them win because they're not going to let the kids win. But that's how dominant Kareem was in college and then pros, obviously Milwaukee and Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Plus, he's a dude. He's smart. He knew karate and he's philosophical. Kareem's awesome. I have him as 3.
He knew karate? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
My 2, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Katie at 2.
Okay.
7-footer and can pull up from 25. Like, he's just so awesome and so fun to watch. And
scored all 3 levels.
A 3-level score. Haven't seen anything like him ever. Like Michael, who I don't like. I wonder where I'll have Michael, but we've seen guys, right?
Comparable
like
to
Kobe.
him. Yeah.
Nobody comparable to Kevin Durant.
Like Dirk Nowitzki was a 7-foot scorer, but nowhere near the athletic ability, the speed of a KD. That's a good pick.
Okay, KD at 2.
I've got Wilt, right? Changed the game, 100 points. Like his rookie stats, the only people to ever compete with his rookie stats are him later in his career. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not a great winner. I think he was probably a bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
But greatest scorer of all time. We're not talking bitch factor in this list. I've got Wilt as number 2.
Yeah, if that was a different list, I'd have LeBron a lot higher. Sorry, Ivan. Okay.
So we both have MJ's number 1.
MJ's 1. We're not going to be stupid and lie to you. The truth is, Michael's the best scorer of all time.
Yep.
By a lot, I think.
I don't exactly know. He won 8 or 9 scoring championships.
Scoring title? Yeah, I was around there.
And he also took 2 years off to play baseball. So he was amazing.
And he'd go and be the best defender on the court, or one of the best defenders on the court.
Yeah,
the other end.
Yeah.
It's just so awesome.
Yeah, he was amazing. Yeah. So good list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my list is, we're similar, but mine's better, and that's the truth.
Yeah, like Jerry West is not on your list. I've got Jerry West as 6. That's probably the biggest difference between the two of us. Who else did you have that? Oh, Karl Malone.
Yeah, but 10 is interchangeable.
Yeah.
Okay, draft time. So while you get your stuff ready, I'll say what we're doing. We're going to do 10 rounds. I actually didn't go over this with you. 10 rounds, 9 dudes like last draft, and 1 coach round, which can be any time. So you have 10 rounds. You got to pick 9 dudes and a coach. Cool?
Yep. Just give a bit of background as to how these...
Yeah. So last episode, if you haven't listened to the last episode, just go listen after this one. We ranked the best sports movies of all time, excluding the Rocky movies because that would just take up our entire top 10. So what we did was we combined our two lists and chose players that we think could go on a basketball team and be good. So we're going to make a starting 5 and then 4 bench guys and then a coach out of movies mentioned in the last episode.
Yeah. Real quick, Rudy, Remember the Titans.
Another Space Jam. We're only picking one NBA player from Space Jam. So
now, can you pick a monster or no?
No, because that's still Muggsy or
so
Barkley.
I can pick Bugs, but I can't pick...
Bugs wasn't in the NBA last time I checked.
But he was on Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, he wasn't in the NBA. I'm saying Barkley, Larry Bird, you can't get those guys from Space Jam.
But I can't pick Monster Bang.
No.
Okay, got it.
No. You did weird research.
Yeah, I'm just going to delete Monster Bang.
Okay, so 10 rounds, 9 players. Coach can be drafted anytime throughout the 10 rounds. It can be your last, like it can be like kickers in fantasy football. It's your last pick, or you can reach and get Sebastian Janikowski early on. So we'll do snake. We'll do rock, paper, scissors for first overall. Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ooh.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're picking.
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan from Space Jam is my first pick pretty easily. Good way to start off. But there's another guy that I know he's going to pick that's going to be almost as good.
And again, you have to translate when these players were, when they would be.
Wait, say your pick.
Jimmy Chipwood.
Oh, you passed on somebody.
No, I can't pick all NBA dudes because you got to pick people that
Enter the Dragon?
Awesome. Yeah, but that's...
Okay.
Right, because, in Enter the Dragon, he was a big karate dude who also happened to be tall and athletic.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you got to pick a basketball one? Jimmy. Okay. Look up Jimmy's stats.
So Jimmy Chitwood from Hoosiers. If you haven't seen Hoosiers, go watch Hoosiers. Hoosiers is sweet. We were watching it the other day.
Hoosiers is sweet.
So Jimmy Chitwood was the star for this Hoosiers basketball team. The only issue with Chitwood, he played in a very, very different era.
Yep.
He was a basketball player for the university.
But he's like Jerry West.
There wasn't a 3-point line. Jerry West is a good comp. My MJ comp would probably be MJ. So Snakes, you've got another one here.
Okay, so now we'll pick Kareem.
Okay. So I know my two.
So Kareem was in Enter the Dragon. If you haven't seen the scene, it's pretty cool.
This is a Bruce Lee movie that he had in his top 10 last episode where Kareem is in it. He's actually in it and has a sweet fight with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And it actually, I was doing some reading. They couldn't find a stunt double that was comparable to his size. So every stunt was Kareem doing it because they couldn't find a 7'3" dude to do stunts.
That's true.
So I've got 2 picks here. I know who I'm going with. I'll go back to back. Billy Ho.
Oh, and Sidney Dean. Oh.
Okay. White Men Can't Jump. I'm not being racist. That's a movie. White Men Can't Jump with Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes. Basketball movie. These 2 dudes were 2-on-2 partners and hustled people. And I'll give you comps just so you kind of know what you're working with. Billy Hoyle, I did some thinking. He is Steve Nash. He's Steve Nash.
Yeah, I agree
100%.
with you.
So Billy Hoyle is Woody Harrelson. He's Steve Nash. And Sidney Dean, I kind of see as a Clyde the Glide. I think I got a Clyde Drexler. So I'm going to go Billy Ho and Sidney Dean.
Okay. So this is where it gets tough. I could pick cool dudes Bobby Boucher from Waterboy would be awesome. But since you did Billy Ho and Sidney Dean, actually I have to pick the King and Duck.
I think that's a reach, but
not as well known.
Give him background.
So at the end of White Man Can't Jump, Billy was in a lot of trouble with his girlfriend, fiance, because he just kept messing up. And then he was supposed to go do something with her. And he said, I just got to go play one more time. The King and Duck are in town. So they ended up beating them. But it brought to the famous line, sometimes when you win, you lose. And sometimes when you lose, you win. So they beat King and Duck, which I've got as my guys, but he lost his girl. Foods that begin with the letter Q.
She was on Jeopardy, which is what he's talking about. So yeah, White Men Can't Jump, great movie. So 4 dudes from White Men Can't Jump just got taken off the board.
And now we're probably going more into some alternative fun stuff.
Okay. I'm going to go with I need some bigs. So I'm actually going to double up on bigs. Shout out Jackson, remember the Titans. I'm going Julius Campbell and Gary
Bertier for sure.
The linebackers from Remember the Titans. I have zero idea if they can play basketball, but they're great athletes and they're beasts. So I'm going to have them as kind of my bigs. I think that they're interchangeable at power forward center. If I had to give comps, I don't know. They're both like a strong power forward. LaMarcus Aldridge, right? Just a big, strong presence, but fast. They're fast. So I'm going to go with those two as my bigs.
Okay, so this week I watched Coach Carter, which was a great show, and I don't know how I had never seen it before. Isaac had it listed in his top 10, and I watched it. So I'm going with Junior Battle and Ty Crane, which was a sleeper. You didn't think I'd remember him, but it's only because I watched this week. Junior Battle and Ty Crane. So the background is Junior Battle's a kid. Actually, just watch Coach Carter. But
a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, Ty Crane is kind of like the LeBron James high school kid who's going to go pro, and he's the show. But then Junior Battle, who is kind of just a hardworking, good dude, hangs with him. It was good. So I got Junior and I got Ty Crane. Does he have a nickname?
I don't think so.
Either way, Junior and Ty Crane.
So a few guys I like. I am going to go with... I'm going to double up again because I want some chemistry here. And if you've seen Cobra Kai, you know who I'm talking about. Give me Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Both exceptional athletes. Yeah. Johnny being more of a big, like a 4 or 5. And then LaRusso is going to be a guard. He'll be a 1 or a 2. Again, zero knowledge if they can play basketball. But Lawrence is a big physical presence. And LaRusso basically has the force. And if I can get Miyagi to come watch, like that'd be sweet. So give me Daniel and Johnny from Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, which is a sweet show you guys should watch.
Good. Now it gets fun. Now we get to pick players that you just think, okay, how do they translate? So I'm actually going to pick the fastest guy on the board.
Benny the Jet?
Benny the Jet. Benny the Jet. Nobody's going to be able to stay with him. Like you
background for who Benny is.
Sandlot. Again, another classic movie. Benny the Jet. Just lightning. So I got the Jet to play point. Nobody's going to be able to stick with them. Lots of fun. So then now I got to pick some muscle, right? Because Isaac has picked some muscle. So I got a couple of choices here, but I think I'm going to go with Tom Conlon from Warrior. Just because he's going to rip people's arms off, right? Like he ripped...
Tossed. He's going to get ejected.
Yeah. Oh, he'll get ejected, but you know what? He's going to rip a couple people's arms off before he gets ejected. He's kind of like your Rick Mahorn, but even stronger. So I've got the Jet, and I got Tommy Conlon. What did they call him? Did he have a nickname?
I don't think so. Oh, I think he did, but it's Tom Hardy. It's Tom Hardy in that MMA movie we talked about that I had. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got. So this is my last time picking. We've got 2 more players. Or sorry, we've got a coach. So we have 3 more rounds. There's a lot of guys I still like.
Lots of great guys on the board.
Okay, first one. I know I can pick. Oh man.
There's so many good players.
Give me Rudy.
Rudy's
I'm taking Rudy.
Yeah.
He'd be a 1, I think.
Did you want to do the speech or want me to do the speech?
Give him a little bit.
You're 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, with hardly a speck of athletic ability, but you hung with the greatest sports team in the nation for 2 years, and you're going to walk out with a degree from University of Notre Dame.
Okay, that's good now.
Okay.
So Rudy lacked in athletics, but is going to have the most heart. He's going to be going at it with MJ in practice. Like, that's going to be interesting. So give me Rudy. And then another pick here. I'm going to match your Tom Conlon from Warrior and go Waterboy.
Okay, good pick.
Just like physical presence. They'll both get tossed pretty quickly, but he's going to be a big. Like, he's probably going to be a power forward or a center.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, he's a 5'8" power forward, but he's going to be unstoppable.
So I've got Waterboy, and I think that's it for my team.
Okay, so again, lots of really good players on here. I'm not as worried about. So you're not picking any more players? Okay, so we just have a coach, right? And it's just going to be a fight as to who gets Miyagi and who gets Billy Bean. But like guys that are still out there, Tasmanian Devil, Bill Murray, Mama from The Waterboy, she'd be awesome.
That's a reach. Bruce
Lee, I've got down. Again, I've already got, I think you, like, nobody's going to be able to stick with the Jet. You should have picked Bruce Lee to be able to stick with the
Billy
Jet.
Ho and LaRusso and Michael? Dude.
Nope, not fast enough.
That's wrong.
Not fast enough.
Sidney Dean?
I'm going to go with Shoeless Joe Jackson.
I had him down,
yeah. Shoeless Joe, unbelievable athlete.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah, you just know he's got touch. Got to go with Shoeless Joe. And I think I got to go with Bill Murray. Right? He's not going to play a lot.
Yeah, limited. He's on a minutes restriction.
He's on a severe limited minutes restriction. Great locker room guy.
Yeah.
He'll be good with lots of sponsors. We got to go with Bill Murray.
Yeah, so there's a few, like Timo Cruz. I wanted to get so I'm just gonna say guys I wanted. Timo Cruz I liked he'd be more of a shooter. Like I'd have him as a wing player from Coach Carter.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Damian Carter.
Yeah, I had
Coach
Damian
Carter's
Carter
son.
listed. And actually, I had Coach Carter from the 70s down as well.
Yeah, because he was awesome. Bugs Bunny.
Bugs.
Louis Lastic from Remember Titans. That's the fat guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Big physical presence down low. Bugs Bunny. Dr. Moonlight Graham.
Moonlight Graham. I had James Earl Jones as an option as well, and he might be a coach candidate.
Okay, I know my coaches.
Terrence Mann. What other characters were out there? I don't know how to pronounce it. The guy who could shoot, the other guy who could shoot on Hoosiers, Raid or Rad or whatever his name was.
Yeah,
he would have been.
He was their number 2 option.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I guess we could have gone a little deeper, but we did pretty well.
Okay,
so you get first choice for coach.
Coach Carter. I'm gonna go Coach Carter here.
Coach Carter's good. Yeah.
Some chemistry that I'm stealing from him, so I am going to go with Coach Carter here.
Yeah, Coach Carter's awesome. I gotta go with Miyagi. Miyagi's just the best mentor, leader, motivational guy. And here's the other thing that you're not thinking about: injuries. If any of my team gets injuries,
but I have Daniel LaRusso. Does he know that power?
No.
What Daniel do I get?
No, Daniel can receive that power, but he tried to do it.
Cobra Kai Daniel.
No, you know what he did? He said, medic.
Yeah. Okay.
No, whereas I have Miyagi, who's actually going to fix people. So I got Miyagi as my coach. Okay.
I'll just have Waterboy break Miyagi, so then that factor will just be eliminated.
That'd be a good fight, actually.
That would be a good fight.
Waterboy Miyagi would be a really good fight.
All right, wrap things up.
Thanks very much. Great episode. Isaac, good job. Looking forward to seeing you again. If you have thoughts as to future show topics, please drop us a note. And then later in 2021, we're going to figure out how to work in some guests and some feedback. We've had a fair amount of people that have wanted to participate in the show. We wanted to get a little bit of experience, just the two of us. But now we do need a producer to try and fact check me, because I know I make a lot of mistakes. Okay, have a good night, everybody.